Hey, welcome everyone to another Routemaster special. This is part 2 of the remote control series. I'll go into that shortly, but yeah, I've got some co-hosts and guests with me that I need to introduce. So I'm going to go with first. We have Geordie Dave.
Hi, evening everybody. Welcome to Horlixs' show. It's going to be a cracking show of the night, so you'll enjoy it.
Lovely, thank you. As always, it's a bit of a last-minute show, but I like last minute. Of course, we've got Mr. Routemaster himself, as we call him, DS Models of Vintage.
Hello, everybody. Yeah. Thanks for having us tonight, Horlicks. Yeah, where would I be if it wasn't for the Routemaster? Yeah, absolutely. I'm here to observe, and we'll do this. Me and Geordie Dave will share the chat tonight. So, yeah, that's that. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this immensely. So yeah, I think it'd be brilliant. Yeah. So yeah,
Awesome.
Let's be on with it.
And lastly, I have a very special guest with me, which I'm really appreciative of, and that is Marvel.
Oh. It's my first time on a video, so yeah, here I am.
No, thank you for coming on to help. And so yeah, lots happened since the last show when Todd was actually in the chat and he was helping me out with some troubleshooting. Now I've been running the bus, as you probably saw and watched my last video. It's been running off this IR remote. This little just chucked it on the floor. I'm going to the bin. This little IR receiver. It works, but it's not great. There's interference. You have to, it wasn't that responsive. You'd have to, I was having a chat to talk about it the other day. You have to literally get this spot on with the receiver to get this to do anything. And sitting here, it was hit and miss whether it would do anything on the bus unless I was right up close to it. I got fed up with that. So let's make it better. So what I've done, which I'll go into more in detail in a minute when we've gone through the chat, but I ended up getting this little, on Todd's recommendation, it's a HM10 Bluetooth module. So I've already been playing with this. The code needs a little bit of work, and we're gonna look at that tonight. So Todd's here for support and help with all his knowledge. It's amazing. So let's go through the chat, and then we'll have a look at.
I'll do the chat first, Dave, because once Dano comes with me.
Okay. Yeah.
Because I've got my pizza coming.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, D. Harris. Evening, Alex.
Evening, D.
Gillian Millen. Evening, everyone. Hi, love.
Hi, Gillian.
Hi, Gillian.
D. Harris. Gillian Millen. Good evening. Warren James. Hi, all. Good luck tonight, Horlicks.
Thank you.
Hi, Warren.
D. Harris. Evening, Warren James. And Yorkshire Crafter. Good evening, everyone.
Hi, Yorkshire Crafter.
And D. Harris. Evening at Yorkshire Crafter. Yorkshire Crafter. Evening, D. Mark Moss. Good evening, Roy. I'm in chat land tonight.
Hi, Mark.
Hi, Mark.
D. Harris. Mark Moss. Good evening. Mark, good evening, D. Harris. Dave Mack, when it comes up. Dave Mack, good evening, everyone, again, and good luck with your remote, Horlicks.
Hi, Dave.
D. Harris, good evening, Dave Mack. Rascals Hobbies made it.
Hi, Rascals Models.
Hi, Rascals Models. Hobbies, sorry. Yeah, welcome. Thank you for joining.
And Markswell, good evening, Dave Mack. Stuart Sullivan, hello, everyone.
Hi, Stuart.
Crafty Chris, evening, everyone. I'll just
Hi, Chris.
Scroll
Hello,
up.
darling.
And I've just scrolled up too far. GS channel, good evening. All hope everyone is okay, and well, good luck with your mod, Horlixs.
Hi, Joe.
Thanks, Joe.
And dear Mark, evening. D. Harris, Julian Millen, 1, James, Yorkshire Crafter, Mark Mods, Crafty Chris. Got that through quick.
I'm not on that list.
I bet you missed that.
I'm not in that list. That's unfortunate.
That's everybody that's in the chat. D. Harris, GS channel, good evening. Yorkshire Crafter, evening, Dave Mark. This is not good again. Dave Mark, evening, GS channel, Jody Dave, and Sir Dave C.
Hello.
Rascals Hobbies, good background, Marvel. Love it.
I'm about old enough to actually be on the original series set, so.
And Crafty Chris, hi Todd and welcome. And D. Harris, a Crafty Chris, good evening. Warren James, evening at D. Harris. D. Harris, evening Sir Dave Jody, Jody Dave and Todd.
Hi, D.
Awesome.
And last of all, D. Mac, evening Todd.
Evening, Dave.
Awesome.
So,
where was I going to go with this? So, yeah, as I was saying, the IR remote was okay, but it was a bit unstable and it was a bit frustrating. So, what I did before this, and again, I actually broke it. It wasn't very strong. Todd helped me the other day because if you remember, we got the spare circuit, the old circuit board from the Spitfire base. So I actually took off the receiver chip. It's actually broken. I broke it trying to pull it out, so it wasn't very strong solder.
Okay.
But I took the receiver chip off, thinking I could get one of because I've got about 3 Spitfire remotes. I was going to use this. I thought it'd be pretty cool, little project, and then I could strip the Spitfire remote down, paint it, make it red, Routemaster it up. But we were struggling to communicate with this, and we gave up in the end. So, I gave up. I've gone down the Bluetooth module route. So there wasn't really much I had to do with this. I had to shove up some pins, so I've changed my trigger pins. I've moved them all up one, just so I could use 2 and 3 for this, just to make it easier.
Yeah.
And what I didn't realise, it was working earlier, but I've had to add some resistors in because the receiver needs to see the 3.3 volts rather than 5 volts. Now, obviously, the Arduino sends 5 volts through it, so I've just added them in to reduce the voltage.
Yeah, that's just a voltage divider, right? That we put in. And a voltage divider is just a couple resistors, and you split the load by thirds. So you have a 1K and a 2K resistor, and the 1K resistor goes from the Arduino to the HM10 pin, and then you do a 2K from the Arduino to the ground, and that splits it. And 2/3 of 5 volts is 3.3.
Yeah. So there we go. So that's the pin that actually goes to the Bluetooth module. It runs through this 1K, and then it goes down to the pin with those jumpers, and then off of here, just hiding behind there, you got that little dude. He's the 2K, and he goes into the ground pins, which shares the ground of the chip and what's feeding all the other grounds. To be honest, I suppose that's okay.
Well, you sort of have it right. I'm looking at it. You run through 1K and then through the 2K, and you actually want it split.
So it goes from this pin here, which that goes to Arduino, goes up here through this one, then it runs down into there, and then it branches off into there.
Let's see, it branches off. So basically, to get to ground, it's going through the 1 and the 2.
Oh, I see. I just copied it off this little tiny diagram, and it shows ground into there.
I got you. Okay.
And then that's how I sort of copied it. But maybe that isn't right. I don't know.
No, that should be okay.
I wasn't really sure how else to do it, so I just sort of copied that. But it seems to work.
Yeah, I mean it'll receive 5 volts, but it's not designed for it, so eventually it might fail. But you know, there's a lot of, if you watch out there and you go look at other diagrams and tutorials, that'll actually show people just hooking it up directly to the Arduino, but it really should be 3.3 volts.
Okay. So I did try and test this and see what voltage is going in, but I couldn't work out how to test it. But it seems to work for the minute. Now the code is working to a degree, but it could be improved, and that's sort of one of the reasons for the string. So I'm going to show you, bring up my screen and show you the code. Oh, wrong button. So basically it's what I've set up from before. I've just done a lot of copying and pasting, but obviously we've included the Bluetooth module. And then we can control this from an app on the phone. Now, the main problem with it is that Todd was trying to explain to me was that we're sending single digits via Bluetooth to control various things on the bus. Now, the problem with this is explaining you can get a lot of interference. And this is sort of where I become a bit stuck, because as you can see, like the 1 is green, but if you try and add more digits, it cancels out what we're trying to do. It won't accept that. So
there's a couple reasons for that. One, you set up I as an integer, right? So when you declared that I variable at the very top, right? See right there in the loop. So first of all, you don't want to declare that there. You would declare it outside the loop. Otherwise, it just keeps redeclaring that. So you can just put it up on the top. It's redundant to put it there. So you can take that entire line and put it up there with the rest of the declarations.
Up here.
Not in setup, above setup.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Right. The other thing is that when you are checking an if statement against an integer, you can't use quotes. Quotes are used for strings.
Right.
So an integer can hold up to 65,536 values, right? So if you go down there and remove the quotes, then you can use numbers like 10,056, right? You just can't use those. Can't use the single quotes because that says it's looking for a string.
Right.
So where you have the if I equals 0, for example, right there.
Yeah.
Just take the quotes away. And now you could say if I equals 10,000, for example, and you could send 10,000 with your app.
Oh, I see.
Now you might still run into the issue I had where Bluetooth sends, when you do a Bluetooth read, it reads 1 character at a time. So you have to write code to have it read the whole string in first. We'll see. Okay. But I would set that to 10,000. We can test it.
Okay. So we can probably test at this point, can we?
What I would do real quick is up at the top, scroll just a little bit where you have the data received line. We were talking about this earlier. So copy that line to another line, the serial print.
Copy that.
Yep, copy it and just add it again after that. Okay, and then after the first data received, where you have the first colon there, just put a space. The first one.
First one.
Yep. Okay, and then down in data received, get rid of everything in the quotes, including the quotes. Get rid of all of it.
So all of that.
Delete all that, because what we're going to do is we're going to serial print the I instead, so it'll output the variable it receives, the data. So when you do the I equals my serial read, you're reading what's in the serial buffer. We want to output that to the serial monitor so we can see it. So take that data received out and just put I, lowercase I there. There you go. That way, when you load up the serial monitor, every time you send a command, it's going to show you what that command is that it gets.
Right.
There you go. Now you can send it.
Right. So, going to hook this up. I won't change camera for that. We'll just plug it in, and I'm not even going to connect it to the bus or anything yet. We just want to see what the serial monitor does and whether it uploads, don't we? So upload.
I'm going to mute my mic, so can you watch the chat?
Yeah, of course can. Yeah, there is a bit of chat, but we'll. Do you want this bit of chat bringing up Horlixs?
Yeah, can do. Yeah, while I'm just setting this up.
Okay. Well, we have Ian Campbell. He says, "Hi all. Sorry I'm late. Been packing."
Hi, Ian.
Hi, Ian. So then we've got D. Harris says, "Hi, Ian," and D. Harris says, "Good evening," and Ian Campbell says, "Hi, D." And then Max Mod says, "Good evening to Ian Campbell," and Ian Campbell says, "Hi, Mark," and that's brought the chat up.
Awesome. Right, so we were using. Let me just sort these cameras out. Oh God, here we go. So we've got an app. We'll just use the one that I was used to first. So it's going to load up a load of Bluetooth devices. At the moment, we're using this DSD tech. And then we're going to do... Oh, it's just cut out on me. So it does this, then you have to restart the app. So I need to find a better app. There it is. Okay, so we are just going to delete all these because I need to set them up again anyway. So we're going to add a new one. We can name it. So what have we done? 0. So let's do all on. And then I guess in this, the command will be what we typed in over here, which would be the 10,000.
Yep.
And then done. So in theory, if this has worked, when I push that button, just over here on the serial monitor, you should see it say something. Okay, so is that looking like what it should be?
So if you look what it sent, and this is what I was talking about before. So what it sent is it sent the bytes. So yeah. 49 is a 1, 48 is a 0, 48 is a 0, 48 is a 0, and 10 is probably a carriage return or a new line.
Right.
So this is what I meant about it sends each byte individually, and we have to. I had this problem with the enterprise, right? So I have to basically create the command to be whatever I want, and then intercept that command as bytes and turn it into a string. Turn that back into a string.
Right.
So I can read it as a command, because that's why I had us do the second serial print line, so we could actually see what the app is sending.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
And those actually might be what you're actually showing is it might even be converting ASCII codes.
Right. Okay. So
yeah, because ASCII, let's see, ASCII 48 is a 0, 49 is a 1, 10 is a line feed. So it's sending the serial print will always try to take the data and print it in a readable format, right? So it'll automatically convert it. So even if it was probably sending a byte, that byte gets converted by print line into an ASCII character that is human readable, right?
Right.
So that's what you're seeing is if you just look up like ASCII table in like Google, you'll get the whole list of ASCII codes.
Okay.
The American Standard Code for Information Exchange or Interchange or something.
Right. Okay. It's sort of I get what you mean. It's a bit deep for my level.
but that could be okay if you want to send single characters because you can send a 1 and then just look for a 49. You know what I mean? So, but you get down into a case where you start picking up noise, right? Because random characters will show up over the air, and you'll see them show up on the receiver, and you can get into trouble. But for testing purposes, if you go back to your code and you change that I equals to 49, and then just send a 1.
So this one here. Oh, sorry, here. I equals 49. All right.
Not there. The next one down, where you have the if statement. So change the 10,000 to 49.
Yeah, that's that one. Yeah. Right, and then what we upload.
And then re-upload that, and then go back to your app and change that button to just send a 1.
Okay, so let me bring up the serial monitor. So what we can do on here is we can actually edit this, change that to 1. And then
there you go.
Don't you see 49? Oh, I see.
See it. So it printed out 49, and then that 49 was caught by the if statement, and it printed out all on. So that means it would have caught that first your all on sequence, and it would have run all those digital writes.
And obviously ignore this. This where it says destination blinds is because on the code down here we've got 1, and it's sort of talking to that at the same time. So
well, you still have the quotes around those, right? So it's looking for it as a string.
Yeah. Okay, so what do we need to do now then to make this read it as the number we want it to be?
So in order to do that, we have to do some more fun. Let me find the code. So what I do is on mine, and how do you want me to send this to you?
On Messenger or something.
All right.
That'd be all right.
We've got some rampant chat going on here, so I'll have to catch that up.
Yeah.
So we've got Ian Campbell says, "Oh, yeah, we've been there." I didn't do that. So Dave McBill says, "Hi, Ian," and then Dano's Universe says, "Hello, everyone. Just got back in from work. Just having a pizza now. Hi, Dano." And then Ian Campbell says, "Hi, Dave Mac." And Stuart Sullivan says, "Wow, Todd, this is complicated information. Hi, by the way."
It can be, yeah.
And Dave Mac says, "Hi, Dana." And D. Harris says, "Stuart Sullivan, good evening." And then Ian Campbell says, "Hi, Dana." And D. Harris says, "Evening at Dano's Universe." Ian Campbell says, "Afternoon, Todd." And then Stuart Sullivan says, "Evening, D." And Dave Mack says, "Evening, Stuart." And Stuart says, "Hello, Dave." And Ian Campbell says, "Sorry, Alex, my fault for being late. Can you just explain what it is you are doing?"
Yeah, sure. So what I've been doing is, as you may have seen from my last video, I had this IR remote for controlling the bus and the circuits. Problem being, this was really hit and miss. It wasn't always doing the right thing. I think there was interference. You had to be quite close to this to pick anything up. So I couldn't just sit here, and I was getting some really strange results from it, and it wasn't very fluent. So I'm speaking to Todd on that and advice. I'm going down the Bluetooth route. So instead of using this remote, we're going to be using a phone app. So we're just fine-tuning it, so we can use a phone app to control the functions of the bus. So that's what we're doing. So forget all that. Right, okay, so I'll just copy the last message, yeah? Copy. Okay, so I've just copied some stuff that...
Yeah, so what we'll do is the last message I sent you, just take that and put it in the beginning of your void loop.
Yeah.
We're going to have to change some things because I copied this from mine. So where it says BLE serial, that's what I named my serial connection. I think you called yours my serial. So just change that to my serial. And then the next line, everywhere you see BLE serial, you're going to have to change it to my serial. So BLE data. And then the message, well, I'll wait for you to finish. That should be fine. The rest of it's all fine. And then the message before the last one I sent you, that just is the declaration of the variables. We need to put that up at the top. Give me 1 second. I have to answer this.
Okay. Okay, so.
All right, I'm back. So that's just declaring the variables that this uses. That second to last message I sent you. So we just got to put that up at the top with the definitions.
That one?
Yep. So what that is I'm declaring a character to hold a character variable to hold each character that's being sent. The BLE string is the concatenation. So basically it's taking each character and adding it to a string. And then the BLE command is the final result. So scroll back down. That's all good. And then what I do here is if my serial has any data available, so basically it's checking if the buffer length is greater than 0. So right, if there's anything in the buffer, then it reads that data, and it will continue to. You notice I'm using a while statement. So a while says while the buffer's got data in it, right? It's going to keep looping this statement. So it basically says read the character. If the character is not a colon, remember I told you I used a colon as my line ending delineator.
Yeah.
So I end all of my commands with a colon, right? And that way it'll keep reading the buffer until it hits a colon and it stops. Okay. So basically it's saying if the BLE data character is not a colon, go ahead and concatenate that data onto the BLE string. So that's what that line does. Concatenate it, adds it to the end.
Right.
Right. If it does hit the colon, the else statement catches a break and it'll break the loop. So it'll stop doing the while. The rest of this is just debugging output, right? So it basically says print the raw data, print the raw string, and then you see where it says BLE command equals BLE string substring. That basically says I'm going to take the first 4 characters of the data it received, and that's going to become BLE command. So I keep all of my data that I send over Bluetooth down shortened to 4 characters.
Yeah.
Because the shorter the command, the faster it'll transmit over Bluetooth. And then it just outputs that command, and then BLE string resets the string back to 0 so it can receive the next command. So where you have if my serial available, so under BLE, that section there, we're gonna comment that section out. So just do a whack star or a /* asterisk. hit enter. And then down into the serial print line I, just hit enter after that. After serial print line I, hit enter. And hit //. And now up above, you'll see it tried to close that comment earlier. So up where it says if serial am I available, you see where it added the /* and the star. Just get rid of those. Because anything between a /* and a //, not that one. This is the second one. Yep, that one and the other. There you go. You notice it turns gray. Anything between a /* and a // is all considered a comment, and so it'll just ignore that code. Now, down where you say if I equals 49, we want to change that. So we want to say if BLE command. You want to add that variable in there. So you can just copy that if you want, or just type it.
This whole bit?
Nope, just the BLE command, just the variable name. Yep.
So I was going to ask as well. So that just goes in all of that.
Yep. Put it there. And then space equals space, and then a single quote.
Nope.
Sorry, a double quote. Never mind. Double quote, and then what do you want the command to be? Pick 4 characters.
So I was just going to ask that question actually, because on this, obviously it's going to work on this app. If we were looking at the other app, that only allows up to what, 3 digits? So if that was the case, would this have to be changed to 3?
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. So what the substring does is it starts at the first character, which in computers always starts with 0. And so you say start at position 0 and read 4 characters, right? So we could say read 3, for example. So yeah, you can change that now if you want.
Okay. That's what.
And then down below, you want that to be whatever you want to send, right? If you want to send, if it's 100, then you can say 100.
So let's do 150.
There you go. Make sure you put the colon, or the other quotes.
Yep. Okay. And then that should. Oh, I see.
I'm getting so many spam calls. So that should be that. That should be that, and that's it.
Yeah. So we can test this again.
Yep. Let's give it a verify, or it'll verify when you upload it, so you can do that too. We forgot a bracket somewhere. Scroll up a little. Keep going. Nope. Keep going. Nope. That should be
So
okay.
This one.
Open. No, that one's okay because that's the if statement. Scroll up. That one's okay too. Scroll up. Because usually the error will highlight the line that's bad. If you scroll around, you'll eventually see a line that's red.
Down here somewhere, down at the bottom there.
Yeah, just delete it. It's probably just an extra one. I use indentation on all my code so I can tell which one's which function is which function. So try that one. Just try to send it.
Awesome. Okay, so we want the serial monitor back up. Let's just clear that so we can see what we're doing. So I'm going to have to change it in the app again to 150.
Make sure you end it with a colon. So in the app, you'll want to say 150 and a colon, because my code looks for that colon before it stops reading the data, right?
Yeah, I was going to say that. So this needs to be 150 and then the colon, because it's looking for that to break it.
Yep.
Save.
And there's extra, so I have debugging stuff in there that you don't need, but it'll be helpful when we see how it works, because you'll actually see the characters come in and you'll actually see the string being built. Oh, you know what? There's one more thing you need. I forgot about that part.
So it's just repeating.
After we have to reset the BLE command back to nothing. So go back to your code real quick. At the very, very, very bottom, after all your if statements.
Mm-hmm.
After that one, just hit enter.
Yeah.
No, the first, no, not there. The first, hit enter there. There you go. Right before it's called the last curly brace is the end of the void loop, right?
Right.
So right there, just do BLE command. So you can just type it, capital BLE, and then command is lowercase, and then equals, and then just double quote, double quote. All we're doing was we're saying, hey, after it's done some work, empty the BLE command. Just make it empty, and then put a semicolon to end that statement. Otherwise, the BLE command just stays in place, and it'll just keep doing the same thing over and over and over again.
Oh, I see. Right.
So go ahead and send that. I can't. It's really small on the screen. I can't see.
Oh, sorry.
Big again. Okay, so it's capital B, capital L, capital E. Stands for Bluetooth Low Energy. There you go. Send that.
Okay. So we get this screen back up. We can see what's going on. That's cleared. So now we're going to push the button on the. There you go. So it's.
So you can see what it's doing, right? So it gets the BLE. The first character it gets is the 5, which is actually probably ASCII for your 1, right? Then it says it's going to start building the string, and so you can see if you scroll up a little bit, you'll see the 150. You'll see it come in. So the 1 is the first data character it receives. So the string starts as 1. The command becomes 1. Go to the next one. Then it receives a 5. So it adds a 5 to the end of the string. So the command is now 15. Then it adds a 0. Then the next character in is a 0. So it adds a 0 to the end of the string. Then it gets the colon. When it gets the colon, it goes, oh, I'm done. The string is 150 with a colon, but remember we did that substring to capture just the first 3 digits, which strips off that colon. Now your BLE command is 150.
Right. It's all clever stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, it's something I had to learn when it came to Bluetooth. I'm like, Bluetooth doesn't send the whole string as just one thing. It sends every character once, one at a time.
Right.
So if you go in now and if you do all your other if statements with if BLE command equals 160, 170, 180, whatever, and then configure your buttons, you should be good to go.
Okay, so.
Wow. I'm just going to bring up this little bit of chat. So okay. Ian Campbell says, excellent, thanks. And Stuart Sullivan says, Todd, may I ask you what you do for a living? Computer programming, ? You want
me to answer that, or you want to finish the chat?
I'll finish the chat and then you can answer it. So, okay. And then Gillian Milne says, evening, D. Harris. And Gillian Milne says, evening, Dave Matt Bills. Okay, Todd?
So I am a principal network engineer. But I started programming in Cartridge Basic on an IBM PC Junior in 1988. So I've always been interested in programming. I've never done Arduino programming until about a month ago, but I think once you kind of understand programming format and if-then statements and all that, it's all kind of the same. So I wasn't starting from ground zero, which is why I've been trying to write the articles on my build site, especially all the Arduino articles, from a very novice point of view. I always like to say I write my build pages for a 4th grader, not to offend anybody, but I write it so anybody can read it, right? So it's available to all different levels of expertise. I try to write it in its simplest form, and the people that know that stuff already will just skip over it.
Wow. Superb. Thank you.
That's it. You got it there, Alex. You just got to go program your buttons now.
So what I want to know is, you might be able to answer. When we were on the last show, 800 seems to be okay for that IR remote. Do you think that's still going to have the same result with the Bluetooth, or do you think because it's Bluetooth now we can afford to drop this down more?
No, I think that is a limitation of the PC board and the bus.
Right. Okay.
All we've done is changed how those if statements are being triggered, not what they do. So they, if you got the timing down to be what they are, all we're doing now is just controlling it with Bluetooth.
Right. So I'm going to upload that. This makes sense. And this is quite easy to do. So once you've got the rest of it, you can just copy these bits out if I want to add more functions.
Yep.
So that's cool. So that's uploaded to the board now. So let's go back to here and we'll set the app up. So I'm going to delete this one again because I want it in order. So I might experiment with different apps, but just for tonight and because I know how this works, we'll set this one up. So let me just make this a bit brighter so you might be able to see. So I'm going to do it backwards so that it goes in order. So what I want to do first is cab light. Come on. All right. Cab light. And then I'm going to do on off. Oh, come on. On off. Right, cab light on off. Now I've set that to run on commands 180 plus we need to put the semicolon in. Okay, that's going to add that. And then next one is going to be interior, exterior lights. And I've set that one at 170 colon. Done. And I'm going to add one for destination blinds. Oh. That's going to be set at 160. I'm just going to edit this one because I forgot to put on off at the end. Save. Last one for what I've got set up is all on. All on off. And we've set that one at 150. Done. So now I've got my options on the app. So I've got all on off, destination blinds on and off, interior exterior lights on and off, cab light on off. So that's the app sorted.
Wow.
So what we can do now is if we go back to serial monitor just to check that this is working, we should see.
I don't know if you want to make that full screen or you want to keep it split.
Let me see if I can.
I'll pick up the chat from now on, do you?
Okay.
So if we push all on off, there you go. It's come up all on 150. Destination blinds on and off. Destination blinds on off. There you go. 160. Interior exterior. Yep. Cab light. So the buttons are working.
Go hook it up.
So now we can hook it up. Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
So.
Well, while you're hooking it up, I've got one shot. Stuart Sullivan, I see. I thought you were a specialist.
No, not a specialist. I don't think I could code. I've always felt that I couldn't code for a living. I don't mind coding for myself because I get to do what I want and under no pressure at all. But coding for other people, I don't know about that.
Yeah, I know exactly the feeling on that.
There's a lot of people that love it, and there's a lot of computer programmers out there. So
Yeah.
I'll let them do it.
Flashing lights on there.
Yes, there's some sort of interference going on.
Yeah, your blind on the side's flashing off and on.
Oh, why is it doing that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it doesn't like something on here. Got 5 volt. We've got the pins set.
What about them pins? What Todd was explaining about earlier.
Now, are you trying to send 5 volts down that line, or are you using your 4066 chip?
Yeah, I'm using the 4066.
Because that looked like maybe a wiring error.
The only thing different I've added is those resistors and stuff. Unless it doesn't like being connected to the same line as the ground on the chip.
No, you should have a common ground for everything.
Okay, so let me plug this back in and take off the Bluetooth module for a minute. See if let's just rule things out. We're still doing it.
You can try popping those the voltage divider pins, the resistors out, just to make sure that's not shorting something. We may have to take a closer look at it.
Yeah, let's have a look. It's not liking that for some reason. Oh, I'm wondering if it's this extension on this USB. Do you think it could be that?
No, that's at this point it's only providing power to the board unless it's not enough power.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
You can always plug in your battery pack and.
Yeah, let's do that. Let me get a separate power supply just in case, because I've actually got 2 extensions on that just to make it long enough.
Dave Mark, I'm calling it a night, guys. So I'll bid you all a good night, and I'll catch you up tomorrow.
Night, Dave.
Okay.
Good night, Dave. Thanks for joining.
So,
if you're joining 2 USBs, that could that not be dropping your voltage?
Could be. Let's try that.
And D Harris, just a Dave Mark Bills good night, mate. See you tomorrow night.
No, it's not that. It's still doing it. Why is this doing this? The only thing I've done differently is add these resistors and things in. So let me just take them out for the minute. Or maybe because, I know Todd did question that earlier, so maybe I did that wrong. And let's just go straight in with the...
I'll go straight in with 5 volt, will it?
Yeah, it'll work. It's just for longevity purposes. I wouldn't not have the divider, so it should be okay.
Yeah, so I'll have to look at that later on. Okay, so it's not that. What is going on with this?
Heck.
5 volt. This is really odd why this has suddenly started doing this. Just check for shorts.
Might have to break out your big breadboard, and when I have this kind of problem, I pull all the pins out again. I like the bigger breadboards, and they make one that's a little bigger than that has the power rails. I love the power rails because otherwise you get lost in what's power and what's ground, and that's what could be causing your problem.
Yeah, while you're doing that, I'll pick up this bit chat. So people saying good night, Stuart Sullivan, night Dave. Dave Mark, night D. Dave Mark, night Stuart. Oh, she settles it in the tub. Oh, yeah, Misty. Well, that's his one. I wasn't in shorts, Gary. Open the road. Do you know what to do with the pump? Get your cycle, it gets pushed in and up into the fan. The fan will pick it up, but that gets your cycle, gets put with all the fans that gets used. You can let that of you. When I she gets that, how does that work? So the lads have to deliver a few.
gets returned to diesel. I don't know how to do it. But...
Okay. Let's try that. I don't need any of this in because I'm not using that Arduino. I'm still using this Nano.
Right.
This board. Unless the chips fail all of a sudden. No, we seem to be okay.
So it's working okay with the other breadboard?
Seems to be.
Okay. Now we slowly start adding things to it.
Yeah, seems to be. So I'm not sure if I've got these pins mixed up. I'm still there. Sorry, guys. I'm just trying to look this all back up. So watch.
That's normal.
We can talk about how nice the little resistors look. And jumper cables.
I can't remember what pin 2 goes to.
That was probably your problem in the first place. You forget all the pins.
No, because I've had to take it off the breadboard. Pin 2 was RX, wasn't it? I think. TX.
This Todd's good. Getting the fries behind him. It's virtual screen. Virtual screen, you've got the enterprise. Come on, Dick.
Look like the original as well.
So Dave and Dave, are you guys going to help him make a PCB?
No, because I ain't got a clue.
Build a circuit board so you can throw it in your own buses.
Well, that would be good. That would be good. But having said that, you know, you might have been able to tell from one of my videos that we do actually take ours out to show various little shows, and you know, the technology is there, but it's like, you know, getting the electric to it and everything, and you know, and then obviously we don't want everybody messing around with apps and what have you, trying to change our buses and
Okay, it's all connected. It's not flickering anymore.
Oh, brill.
It must be this board. I mean, it's quite cheap, and it maybe something shorted inside.
Yeah.
I will have to put all these resistors back in at some point, but just for the purposes of the test.
Yeah.
Where that's going.
So
Oh,
now we should open the app. So there we've got all on, all off.
Wow.
There you go. All on,
Wow.
all off. We do destination blinds on,
Yeah.
and that's how quick it is. It's not getting confused.
That's excellent. Yeah.
Is it?
Inside,
Wow.
then we got the cab light.
Yeah. There he is. Yeah. Wow.
So
That's
there we go.
That is brilliant.
Obviously, it still gets confused. I'm wondering. There's still no way of reading what everything's doing, so we're using the chip. But
Yeah.
Yeah, because the all on, all off doesn't know the states, and so it's just going to reverse them, right?
so that's the control for the Routemaster.
Wow. That is fabulous.
So the last thing I need to ask Todd about, as you can see, when we load this up, it finds a Bluetooth device, which is DSD Tech.
Yeah.
We can rename this, I believe, to Routemaster, are we?
Sure.
So let's do that.
And
Yeah.
I sent you that already. I think the only thing you have to do is change your pins, right? Your pin numbers. Because I use pins 12 and 13. I think you're going to have to use the different one, but I sent that already.
Take a bit of the bottom piece. It's the back side.
So you sent me a file earlier, which was this. So I open this one, yeah?
Yep.
Is this the right one? No, that's mine again.
That's yours.
See where to get it from, or that was from the two.
There we go.
Yep. So you just got to change the pin definitions. I didn't know what pins you were using.
2 and 3.
Okay.
I think that was RX 2. I think RX was 2. Hang on, let me just double check. Oh, I lost signal there. So what was I saying? Yeah, TX is actually 2. So I changed that to 2, and RX is actually 3.
There you go. And then you just send that to your board. And if you have it hooked up to the serial monitor, you'll just see it constantly sending the name. It says, hey, set the name to Routemaster and print the name out. Set the name to Routemaster, print the name out. And as long as it prints the name out, then you're good to go.
Okay, so
There's some extra stuff in here that's not even used, but this will do what you need it to do.
well, that's interesting. When I plug it back into the computer, it does all the flickering thing again.
Hmm.
Because I just feel close.
So upload. Oh, we need to see when monitor open, yeah?
Yep.
You chase through this now.
Get down. Get down.
Has that done it?
Still uploading. There, it's done.
Nothing come up.
Yeah, it may not spit anything out because it. Well, hang on a second. 9600, 9600. Open your app because you'll see it immediately change when you do a scan on your app.
Right. Oh God, I've lost the stream. It's a problem with all these windows. No. Still showing as 50.
All right, give me a second here. If it's not doing anything, I would switch your RxTX around back to 2 and 3. Send that.
Be the plastic portion of those.
There you go.
Yeah.
Right.
Now you should check your app, and it should have changed.
No.
So what I would do is close that app and reopen it. Good old iPhone. All right, so power down the because it's in AT mode all the time. So one, reprogram your Arduino back to your code, and then we'll power it down and back on. But the output was showing that it basically took the name change.
Okay, so I'm so sorry about these camera angles. I'm not used to switching all these screens.
That's all right.
Back to my code, which was this one. Upload. And it's at that point all the lights start flickering on the bus when I upload this code.
Hmm.
So
Or
that's,
is it because the USB is connected?
yeah. Well, I guess. Right, so now that's uploaded, we can unplug that.
And when you unplug that, it powers down the Bluetooth module, right? So you
Yeah.
put the battery pack back in? Okay. And now check your app. Because your app, you may have to restart the app too. It's going to just probably keep a list of everything it ever saw until it's restarted. No, it still shows DSD Tech. There it is.
Changed it now. Took a while. There you go. So now, yeah, brilliant. It says Routemaster.
Yeah, and you can use that code. Anything you put after the AT plus name, you can name it whatever you want. You can just use that code to rename it if you need to.
All off. All on. There you go.
Wow.
If you have multiple HM10s, like if you have Bluetooth to some other model, you can name it something separately, and then you only connect to what you want to control.
Awesome.
Mixing this one.
Well, there you go. That is, by and large, that's set up then. The only thing, obviously, I am slightly concerned about now is what you're saying about these resistors and things, because I really want to have these in.
Yeah, so just put a 1K from the receive pin on the Bluetooth.
Hang on. I've forgotten which
So
one.
you want 2 resistors hanging off the receive pin.
Hang on. I need to find out which one's what. 1, 2. Right, so the one.
So the 1K goes from the receive pin of the HM10. So you have to disconnect the Arduino.
Receive pin, which was the blue.
Because you're going to want 2 resistors hanging off the receive pin.
Right,
And obviously you point those to different lanes. Yep, you got that.
I'll put the resistor from.
So that one, the other side of that resistor goes to your Arduino. And then you want it the 2K. Did you just launch your tweezers?
Yeah.
The 2K also hangs off the receive pin on the HM10.
So behind it.
Nope, don't do it there. So you can, if you have to, go behind it. I don't know if you have a pin available behind it.
Certainly no.
Sorry, the call maybe
I'm going to move this out of the way.
for next week.
You can probably stick it in the same hole as the first resistor. A lot of times you can put 2 pins in that same hole.
Or I can move that back. So it goes in.
Now, see, you're putting the resistor in front of it. So you want that resistor to hang off of the HM10's pin. So the HM10 should have 2 resistors hanging off of it. There you go. Can you get it in there?
I actually need to move that over a bit. God, this is tricky.
So you might be able to scoot the HM10 back another row, so you can expose another row in front of it, so you can put that resistor in. Can you do that?
Yeah, just take that out for a minute. So effectively, is that right? So both legs are now in the same way.
Since the HM10 is going to plug in farther back, you can just put that in the next hole down. You know what I mean? Since that's going to plug in so far away.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, and then the other side of that resistor goes to ground. So basically, from the HM10, you have a 1K towards the Arduino and a 2K towards ground.
Okay.
Do you have that ground rail hooked up? Oh, okay. I see what you're doing. Okay.
Yeah, so the 1 goes to that, the 2 goes up to this ground, which then goes over to the ground.
Okay, I'll go through the chat. Stuart Sullivan sees very complicated process. I think I'll stick with batteries. However, would be great to have a remote control.
Yeah.
And Stuart Sullivan again, fantastic. Well done, guys. Stuart Sullivan again, very interesting show. Thanks, everyone. Night all.
Good night, Stuart.
And he says good night to Stuart. And I missed one out. No. The excellent job, Alex and Todd, between the two of you putting your heads together. I would call it a success.
Yeah, me too.
Right, let's retest, make sure it works. Routemaster. No response at the minute. There you go. App was just being a bit funny. There we go.
Right. Maybe just wanted updating or something.
Yeah, so we've got destination blinds, there you go, interior lights, cab light, on and off.
So what about your all on and all off?
All off. And then we can do it this way as well.
Yeah.
All on.
What's your range on your Bluetooth?
Quite a distance actually. I reckon I could probably do this from the kitchen.
Oh yeah, the Bluetooth. You could probably do that from the other side of the house.
Wow.
And it's Bluetooth. So you don't need line of sight. You don't have to point the IR at it. You could be facing the wrong direction. It'll still work.
Yeah, because across it's Wi-Fi, isn't it? Bluetooth. Yeah.
It's basically Wi-Fi. Yeah.
Yeah. Fabulous.
There we go.
Absolutely brilliant.
Brilliant.
Awesome. Right. Well, there you go. That's the show. So that is just, say massive thanks to Todd for taking the time to help this evening. So I did a basic code earlier, and I was just using single numbers 1, 2, 3, and that was just based on a few codes that I've been googling, just for a basic function. And with the button, it did work. But as you said, like in the long run, it could cause problems with interference and stuff. So
yeah.
The thing is now is to try and design a circuit board. To be honest, I'm not sure it's going to happen. I'm not sure. I've had a look. I don't really know where to go, but I was looking online at some PCB designer, and it's very complicated. You've got different layers of circuit boards, and I'm like, no, that's too much. I just want to connect a few bits together. So it could be a case like I get, I showed you last time. I don't know where they've gone now. Here.
Hey, there's Mark. I see you, Mark.
That's Dano.
Is it Dano?
Yeah.
Oh.
It could be a case that I just get a load of these type breadboards and just solder onto them. I mean, it won't look as neat, I guess, but it's going to do the job. But obviously, when it comes to actually taking control of the whole, getting, like, as Todd suggested, getting rid of the circuit board completely and just go with my own, that's going to be another ball game, isn't it?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
basic level, I'm happy now that, and I'm probably just going to make something like this for mine, so everything's where it needs to be. Hot glue it under the base because you're never going to see it, and it'll go back on the shelf and it'll be done. But as a final product, I don't know yet. It's just like I'm going to have to.
Yeah.
I would love to do some sort of final product so that other people can enjoy that. I mean, to be fair, I'm guessing for you, Dave, like if you wanted something like that, it's not really going to matter to you, even if I did you one like this, because you've also got the base.
Yeah.
So you could just glue it or stick it underneath. You probably never see it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. You could either you could cut a false hole in the base and put it right in the middle underneath the bus or somewhere.
Yeah.
Like a little sink in the base.
Something like that would be ideal for me because everything's when my bus goes in to its place in school.
Yeah.
Buttons, that would be ideal.
Yeah, because obviously yours is up against the wall, isn't it? Like Horlixs is, yeah. Yeah.
But obviously, it's all dependent. I mean, ideally, yeah, we just need a replacement board, but whether we can fit all of that on something, because the circuit board for the bus, I did have it here. Oh, it's up here.
So have you got one spare?
Oh, this is the actual circuit board for the bus because I replaced it. This is a replacement just in case I blew anything up. That's how big it is. So I need to get all of that on something that size.
Yeah.
So that is.
Your biggest trouble is going to be that the Bluetooth module, because it's not small.
No. But there is space under the stairs, so that could be with a connector that can plug in, and then that can get shoved somewhere else.
Yeah. There's plenty of room under the stairs and under that box where the conductor goes and everything. There's plenty of room in there, isn't there?
But again, this is completely new to me. This is alien designing the circuit board, especially with layers and things. I don't know. I wouldn't know.
Yeah.
So needs more research. But at a basic level, for me, it works. And I've just got this basically a breadboard, which I'll just solder everything to more permanent and hide it somewhere. So for me, it's perfect. But as a final product, you can't really have all this stuff laying about. So it's going to need some thinking about.
Yeah.
The principles there. So awesome. Thank you again for your help, everyone. So
chat. Great to meet you, Todd. That's from Stuart Sullivan.
You too, Stuart.
And Rascal's Hobbies, you guys did great. Loved watching. Didn't understand a damn thing, but was a great watch nonetheless.
To be fair, I understood what Todd was saying, but if I'm not at that level yet, I mean, I can do basic stuff, but if I was to delete that code and Todd goes, right, write it again, I couldn't do it. There's some aspects of it. Obviously, the basic stuff I can. I know how to digital write and do some of the stuff and define stuff, but when it comes to all this equals, this, that, and the other, then I'm a bit lost as well. I understand what it's doing. I know that much, but to write it out of my head, I'd find that a struggle.
Yeah.
Just wait till you rip all that out and do your own pins and add sound and music and
well, that is another thing. That's another thing entirely. I don't think I'm done with the advice just yet, because for me, the next thing
Let's run a bus into a party bus and have.
I said that, putting RGBs in so the lights flash in the bottom there.
You need to have a second bus to do all this stuff with.
Yeah, I do. I didn't know. I've got the room, but I'm thinking about soundboards and things. So whether we can, so I can incorporate that into the code, like have a little sound.
Well, that's like I said before. The enterprise is up to 1,000 lines of code. I keep adding to it and adding to it. you kind of get out of hand. Like it'll do both IR and Bluetooth at the same time, which I probably won't keep IR after this. But the nice thing about infrared is infrared will work as long as I have a battery for the remote, right? Bluetooth, the libraries change. You might get a new version of iOS, and that app doesn't work anymore, and all of a sudden you've lost control of your enterprise, right, or your model. So it's tricky with the Bluetooth. Like when I built the mobile app, I did that with MIT's App Inventor, but they don't do it for iOS, right? Because iOS is, well, Apple says no. So I can pay $25 to be a developer, and I could upload my code to I could put the app on the Google Play Store.
Well, I was reading something about Microsoft. I'm going to go down that lane.
About what?
Microsoft are going to start going down the same lane as Apple.
That doesn't surprise me.
Not allowed.
But Android's open source. It's always been, right? It's always been open, and everybody else wants proprietary. So.
Well, somebody had said don't put Microsoft 11 on your PC because it's going to be like Apple, where it won't allow third-party software.
I have Windows 11 running on my PC right now. It's fine.
Yeah. Oh well, I have as well, but whether I think it's more security stuff at the moment. I mean, who knows? Well,
that's one of the reasons. That's one of the reasons Apple don't allow it, because of security stuff.
Yeah.
I think if Microsoft did that, I think there would be an uproar.
But I was watching somebody saying that's something good. But as you know what YouTube's like, it's got different stories on all the time.
Yeah. But
it would be stupid if they did, because it's going to stop people developing stuff. That's why I've got the Apple Mac at the moment, and I like it. It's nice. They're nice machines, but she's an old machine. She's 2016, and I'm looking at upgrading, and there's no way I could upgrade to another Apple.
Obviously, the only problem with this software that is on this phone, because it's iOS, as I was saying to you earlier, Todd, if you go back, that's it. You lose it. You can't. It won't pick it up again because it's already connected. So it won't show in the list, and this is just nothing. So you're actually locked out of it until you restart that Arduino.
Try finding that. Try go get that Arduino Blue that I found.
Yeah, I've got that. That's installed. Just need to play with that, because at the moment it's
the only thing I'm worried about is it doesn't let you send custom commands. It seems like it just sends a 1 through a 200, right? The problem with that is you don't have a delimiter, right? If you can't send the colon, you don't have a delimiter. We could probably work around that by saying, hey, wait for a 0, right? And your commands can be 150, 160, 170, 180, and then have it chop the 0 off, and then your actual command you're looking for is a 1.5, a 1.6, a 1.7. It just depends.
I'm just scanning for Routemaster. There it is. Connection success.
And then down at the right bottom, there was a commands section, and you can go at the top and you can add one. But see how it says 150? I don't know if that's just an ID, but try to send 150 colon and see if it'll save it. And then I think you have to give it a name. And then go. I think you have to click save at the upper right, and then it'll give you a button. See if that button works. See, I think the send at the top is a where you can send it actual commands. Like if you type 150 colon up there, I wonder if it would work.
Yeah, that's a point.
It's receiving it because I can see the Arduino light blinking to say it's received something, but it's not actually doing anything.
If we hooked it back up to your computer, we could see what it's sending, right? Because we'll be able to see it build the response. I just don't know how this app is sending data.
Right, let's get that. Just last of all, we might as well. We come this far, so I'm just going to get rid of some of these extensions because it doesn't like it.
This app just at least lets you move the buttons around, and the other one doesn't. And
right, find devices, Routemaster, connection success, commands. Right, now we just want to share screen, don't we? And we want the monitor. That's clear. And then it's not showing anything.
yeah, that's not your code. That's that app. Let's go back. If you go back in that app and just have it send 150, let's see what it does.
Yeah, 150. I was pushing the button on the app. 150 send. It's not coming up. Surely it should be coming up on here, shouldn't it?
Yeah, if it's getting anything.
Oh, there we go. All on. Yeah, that's what I'm getting.
So my guess is that's sending bytes or something. Did you change the button to send just 150?
Yeah, I did that at the top. Send 150 on its own, and then you get that.
Are you using the long cable? Because that looks like noise. The backwards question marks.
No, I'm just using it straight in. I've took that off.
Okay. That could just be the way it's writing out to the screen. So it is saying 150, right?
Yeah, but that's without the colon.
Yeah, because it's so what happened. Well, it just says all on, so it did trigger the all on.
I don't know how you edit it on this app.
But then it's junk, see?
That's sending it from the button we created. And then if I actually type in 150 and send that, yeah, it's all a bit garbled. It's now saying 15. If I send 160, so it's probably just a difference in the app, isn't it? And what it's sending.
Yeah. But I don't know if that's the way if it's actually that's the data receiving, or if this is the serial print. It doesn't know what to do with those characters. That's why you're getting the question marks.
Right.
You could change the code to say, instead of looking for a colon, you could say look for a 0, right?
Yeah.
And then where you do the substring, just have it look for the first 2 digits, and then your commands would be like 15, 16, 17, and 18, right?
That was the old app. I was just checking. It wasn't an interference in anything else. But no, that's fine. I mean, I'm happy. The other app's fine for now. I can look into that. We can have another look into that on another episode, perhaps. Or if I find, I'll have to have an experiment with some of the apps and just see which one I prefer. I mean, I'm not too bothered about this one because it only resets if you back out. So once I've connected and I've got it up, this will happily sit in the background as long as I don't close the app. So, yeah.
Progress.
Yeah. And
absolutely.
I'm really happy with that because it's not so finicky with this flaming remote. It was driving me up the wall because it was like, do something, and then it was getting confused. And even after we added some debugging, didn't we, the other day to stop it, so it would only read the first command without, like, if you hold the button down, because it sends lots of information. So we set it just to read it once and then delay before it tries to read anymore. And it made it a little bit better, but it still wasn't, you know.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's getting nearly 11 o'clock. So I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did because, buzzing. Absolutely buzzing about that. So again, thank you for your help. That is it from me. We'll go around and say goodbyes in a moment. So tomorrow is the Northern Model Builders and Crafters evening. So check us out there. Thursday we've got myself, Yorkshire Crafter, Crafty Chris. We were doing the craft and quiz show. That'll be at 7 o'clock. Friday, it's back to me. We're going to finish off the Spitfire, hopefully. It's going to be a longish stream. So
I'm gonna miss it again because I'm at work.
Yeah, all right.
It won't be 4.5 hours like it was the other week because we've done all the fixes and we're just going to be putting the panels on. So it might actually not take that long. But yeah, we're going to be doing that on Friday night at 7 o'clock. Looking forward to that. And then that's it. There's nothing on Saturday.
No,
at the moment, but keep an eye on it. Might change.
Yeah.
And
Dave's on the Sunday, aren't you, Dave?
all being
and then
well.
I'm on Sunday, Sunday evening.
So
yeah.
Okay, lovely. Right, last couple of bits of chat.
We've just got D. Harris. I see you. Good night, gents. I'll see you the night. Nice to meet you, Todd.
Good night, D.
And D. Night all in the chat. Night, D.
Awesome. Okay. Yeah, it's quite late now. We've lost quite a few. But no, thank you again, everyone. And let me go around. So let's Geordie Dave.
Brilliant show. Went over my head. But fantastic job. You know, that's something I would love doing with my bus. So I'll be watching Horlixs to see how it does. Might get an odd viewboard board and try it myself.
Do it. We can send you the code.
Yeah. But that's all I would need, wasn't it? An Arduino board and an Bluetooth sender.
And then just wiring it up.
Right up and just took it under the bus or at the back of the bus.
Alex is the expert now. It's good.
Yeah.
That's only if you want to use the board that comes with the bus. I mean, it's not ideal. And actually, I forgot to say there is going to be more coming because we were talking about relays and other ways of delaying the bus coming on so that it doesn't confuse it and stuff. But that'll be another show.
Yeah. Looks very interesting. So I hope everybody enjoyed that, and don't forget to give Alex a thumbs up. So good night from me.
Lovely, thank you. And then DS Models and Vintage.
And I'll say, well, that certainly went over my head. I mean, I'm old school, steam powered and things like that. But having said that, I've thoroughly enjoyed it, and I would have thought that we're very, very close now to actually cracking this. to actually getting it something really like, aren't we?
Yeah.
So yeah, more good things to come in the future, I think, from this project, without a shadow of a doubt. Yeah.
Awesome.
So it's good night from me, and thanks for viewing and chatting nice, and we'll see you another time.
Lovely. And yeah, last of all, just Todd, just to say your goodbyes and that.
Hi.
There you go.
It was fun. I mean, that was my first time ever on a YouTube stream, like with video. So it's, I love this stuff, and the Enterprise is a passion of mine. So that's why I spend so much time with it. So I've got 2 issues to build, and I have a 3rd one on the way, and that's 12 stages of stuff I'm behind now. But I'm so head deep in the electronics that it's fun. So it's nice to take a little break from something else.
Right down.
Yeah. No, it's no, you were natural. Did well considering. But obviously, I am just gonna copy this. Please, everyone. I'm gonna post it. Check out Todd's channel. There's a few videos on there.
There's nothing on there.
There is. There's the video of his what he's done, some of the stuff he's done within his Enterprise, and obviously it's probably changing daily for you because you're always adding to it and enhancing it. But check it out; it's amazing. It shows you the app and stuff that it does, and
already subbed you.
Yep, so
Yeah.
so yeah,
Yeah.
check them out.
I think I have like 12 now.
No, you got more than that. Let me have a look. 50
You
something.
had 40 odd last time I looked.
54.
What? No.
You're gonna have to start posting more stuff on there.
Yeah.
I'm not a YouTuber.
No. Anyway, thank you again so much for all your help, and see you on.
Very welcome.
So I'm going to say goodbye and roll the outro, which I need to update. I'll have to update that after next week when the Spitfire's done.
Yeah.
Take care, everyone. Good night.
Okay. Good night.
All right.
Eyes in the sky, gazing far into the night. I raise my hand to the fire, but it's no use, 'cause you can't stop it from shining through. It's true, baby, let the light shine through. If you believe it's true, baby, won't you let the light shine through?